Hey guys, you are welcome back to stockfx. In this video, I'm going to tell you what Michael Burry said about the 2022 stock market crash, and what you can do to prepare for it. I completely understand you are as concerned about inflation as I am. Every day we are bombarded with headlines about the Fed printing money, quantitative easing, and inflation. These are all very real concerns that we need to be aware of. If you want to know about the upcoming predictions of the stock market, then this video is for you. In this video, I'll show you how big of an impact the Fed's policies will have on the stock market and your portfolio. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'll give you some actionable steps that you can take to prepare for the upcoming stock market crash. In the future, there will be more inflation and it will keep getting worse and worse. Imagine if we all knew about it in advance, and took steps to protect ourselves. But before we get into all that, if you like videos about the stock market, investing, and personal finance in general, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Also, I have attached the links to my previous videos in the description down below. So, let's get into the video. As I'm sure you know, the Fed has been printing money like crazy ever since the pandemic started. They've been doing this through a process called quantitative easing, or QE. What QE does is it allows the Fed to buy assets from banks, which in turn gives those banks more money to lend. This extra money that's being injected into the economy is what's causing inflation. That was the background on how we got to where we are today. Now, let's talk about Michael Burry's warning about the stock market crash. Michael Burry is a very famous hedge fund manager, who made billions of dollars by correctly predicting the housing market crash in 2008. In short, he saw that the housing market was being propped up by easy credit and low interest rates, and he bet against it. He's now saying that we're in a very similar situation today, except this time it's the stock market that's being propped up by easy money from the Federal. Recently he tweeted, adjusted for inflation, 2022 first half S&P 500 down 25 to 26%, and Nasdaq down 34 to 35%, Bitcoin down 64 to 65%. That was multiple compression. Next up, earnings compression. So, maybe halfway there. Basically, he's predicting that the stock market is going to crash in 2022. He predicts a drop of 25 to 26% for the S&P 500, and a drop of 34 to 35% for the Nasdaq, which is a pretty big deal. Now, I don't know about you, but hearing this from someone like Michael Burry, who has a track record of being correct about these things, is pretty concerning to me. After his tweet, we saw a quick drop of 12% in the S&P 500. So, we know his prediction was serious. The good news is that there are things you can do to prepare for this. In just a bit, I'll tell you what you can do to protect yourself from the upcoming hyperinflation. But before we get into that, I want to address one more thing. A lot of people are saying that this time is different, and that the Fed has our backs and they'll just print more money to prop up the stock market. But here's the thing, eventually, there will be too much money in the system, and inflation will get out of control. When that happens, the Fed is going to have to raise interest rates to try and control it. And when that happens, the stock market is going to crash. So, don't be fooled by people saying that this time is different. It's not. The Fed can only prop up the stock market for so long, before it all comes crashing down. It's not the first time Michael Burry tweeted about a potential stock market crash. In June alone, he tweeted about it several times. On June 14th, he tweeted, just getting one thing right is hard. 1999 tech bubble, 0105 value revival, 2005 housing bubble, 2009 almond farms, 2020 COVID bottom, 2020 lockdown horrors, 2021 meme stocks, 2021 crypto leverage, 2021 inflation, 2022 not done yet, late 2022. In this tweet, he's clearly saying that the situation is worsening day by day, and we are not done yet. The market is going to crash in late 2022. According to him, 2022 will be like a plane crash for the economy. This year, the factors that are propping up the stock market will eventually lead to its downfall. So, it is a horrifying time for the economy. It isn't just Burry who is predicting a stock market crash in 2022. Many other hedge fund managers and economists are also saying the same thing. Even the chairman of Sanders Morris Harris, George Ball, has recently said that he believes a fall in S&P 500 is inevitable. He said that due to the increasing inflation, the Fed would have to raise interest rates, and this would lead to a stock market crash. So, it's not just one person who is saying this. Many people who are in the know are predicting a crash. We could see a crash as early as late 2022, or it could happen in 2023. But the point is, it's coming. And we need to be prepared. Now, let's talk about what you can do to prepare for the upcoming stock market crash. A quick reminder, before we move on and continue our discussion on this topic. If you've enjoyed the video so far, consider subscribing, as we frequently upload such informative and educational videos. Thank you. Now let's continue. The first thing you need to do is start diversifying your portfolio. If all your eggs are in one basket, and that basket is the stock market, then you're going to be in for a nasty surprise when it crashes. So start diversifying into other assets, like real estate, gold, and silver. That way, if the stock market does crash, you'll still have other investments to fall back on. Another thing you can do is start investing in foreign markets. The US stock market isn't the only game in town, and there are plenty of other markets that are doing well. If you diversify your portfolio and invest in foreign markets, you'll be much better off when the US stock market does crash. The last thing you can do to prepare for the upcoming stock market crash is to start saving cash. If you have a lot of cash saved up, you'll be able to buy assets at a discount when the market crashes. Start saving as much cash as you can now, so that you'll be prepared when the market does crash. Whether we like it or not, the stock market is going to crash in 2022. The only question is how much damage it's going to do. Now that you know what's coming, it's time to start preparing for it. Diversify your portfolio, invest in foreign markets, and start saving cash. If you do these things, you'll be in a much better position when the stock market does crash. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find value, and drop any questions you have in the comments section. I will be glad to help.